them. They all came to see me. This is hilarious. Are you gonna start like? We can. I'll like tell. Be like, I'll tell it, and then you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And pretend we're all in our underwear.
Oh, I love it. Okay. I even wrote notes. It's kind of embarrassing, but I was even gonna make a slideshow because you said show and tell. So I was like, oh, what's the show part? Like, what am I showing? You know. So anyway, where's the screen?
Your beautiful face.
All right. So my name is Angela COTE. And I usually find when I meet people at these events, it helps if I, oh, and thank you, by the way. You guys are awesome. I agree with Bob and the front desk and everything. These guys are awesome. So I usually find when I'm trying to explain my background and what I do, it helps if I give you the little backstory. It's funny because Bob, what did you say? You everything from janitor to CEO. Well, I've in my life. I'll first start by saying my dad is the founder of M&M Meat Shops. I don't know if you guys know M&M Meat Shops.
Yeah.
And so I've done everything from
Samples.
right? We should talk. So I've done everything from dressing up as Kelly Kebab at grand opening to opening or developing the chain in Western Canada, like across the West. So in 2000, I moved to Victoria with my husband to get the chain up and running on the island as multi-unit franchisees. And for people that don't know the lingo with franchising, because I went from the franchisor side to the franchisee side. So the franchisor is the overall company that has this vision of expanding, and then they use the franchisees in the local markets to do the expanding. So I went from the corporate side to the franchisee side and became one of the franchisees that paid royalties to use the brand. And over time, franchising has gotten more diversified. It used to be just bricks and mortar, like McDonald's and Tim Hortons and that kind of thing. But now we're seeing it popping up in mobile service companies. Like you guys might know Superbath in Victoria. They drive around and do car washing on site. So they'll come to your house or your office. There's in-home seniors care like Nurse Next Door. That's a franchise. On-the-go fitness companies and even software and technology are getting into using franchising for growing. Being a small business owner with our M&M Meat Shop stores has been fun, but in the last few years I started to get restless and try to figure out something else to do. So I spent some time networking and found that people were asking me questions about franchising just naturally, and I was like, oh yeah, I guess I do kind of know about that. So decided to use that background to help businesses that want to learn about how to franchise or whether they should franchise, and then use it as a growth strategy for them. So I don't automatically promote franchising. I'm not like rah, you should franchise, because not everybody should. Not all businesses are fit for that. So now I work with new franchisors, like trying to figure it out, or established franchisors, companies that maybe have like 20 to 30 business locations and they're stuck. They are at a roadblock and they need help growing to the next level. And I also work as a franchisee coach. So companies, an example would be Good Earth. You guys might know Good Earth Coffee House. They're out of Alberta and they have locations all over the West, and they might need help with ensuring that their franchisees, their local operators, are following the system or need help with their customer service strategies or whatever that might be. So I can go in and work with them on that. I believe that really knowing your value proposition is important, or as we used to call it back in the 90s when I was in university, your competitive advantage, or what sets you apart. That it's really important to the success of your business. And I'm passionate about helping businesses figure this out. Because if you don't have that, then you're just like everybody else. So at M&M Meat Shops, people often always thought that the reason we were successful, if you asked our customers or even our staff if they weren't trained properly, what it was that set us apart, and they would think it was our quality food. But we always knew that the grocery stores could catch up and start selling high quality frozen food, so we knew that we had to have something different. So we knew though that they couldn't touch us on customer service, because we had the advantage of being a smaller boutique style shop where we could provide good service with our meal advisors who were trained, and a sales counter, and we could help them figure out their meals. So we knew we could be different in that way. So what is it that is Angela Cote's value proposition, you are wondering?
Yeah.
What makes me different from my competition? So I had the advantage of growing up learning hands-on and by osmosis about what it takes to build a business. As I'm in a meat shops grew to over 470 locations across Canada and won multiple awards for in the Canadian Franchise Association and magazines and business associations. I've been on both the franchisor side and the franchisee side, which is important because franchisors don't always understand the mentality of a franchisee, because the franchisee is buying into a business, but they're still being told what to do, and people don't always like that. So it's important to understand that. And lastly, I'm well connected in the franchise industry to different like franchise lawyers and industry experts that I can tap into for help when necessary. So if you know anybody who is thinking of growing their business, needs help with whether or not they should franchise or just conventional business growth, they can find me on LinkedIn. It's Angela Cote. I also have a Facebook business page, or my website is just angelacote.com. So thank you.
Thank you. Are you taking questions?
Yes, I am.
So
If I'm allowed, I think I did the full 5 minutes.
what brought you to Regis?
Well, oh yes, and I did say I was going to talk about that. So I use the office here that I share with Bob at different times. He's here the later part of the
Oh,
week.
a timeshare.
Yeah,
Cool.
which
How
is
cool
amazing.
is that?
Yeah, I get the first half of the week, he gets the second half. It's working out great. I highly recommend it. It gives the diversity and flexibility because I can work in the office and do certain things when I'm here, and then do clients stuff out and about in coffee shops or whatever as well. I can mix that up. But what brought me here was the ability to be in a professional environment and just have the ability to focus and be in an office, and also my clients that I have had come and then they say, you know, who are you here to see? It looks very professional for you, for Rhonda and Peter to be at the front desk.
Yay,
They were so
Rhonda.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and the building is amazing, and
Wow.
just the whole impression that people get when they come here is great. And yeah, all the services and everything. I just needed to get out of the house because I was either working in my stores or in my dining room because I don't have a home office, so that's what, yeah. Anyway, awesome. Yeah, so Regis is great. Yeah.
Any questions?
Kelly Kebab, like my brother walked around on stilts on like ice in the 1980s just to like as Too Tall Tex to try to, you know, get like attention. And one time he was a critter in this critter costume and he fell down. Nobody knew, but he disappeared, and he's a really quiet guy, opposite of me obviously. And nobody could find him, and somebody went looking for him, and they found him stuck in a ditch, like, because the costume was so heavy he couldn't get up. So there's like lots of kind of crazy grassroots things that they did to build the business in the early days that I just want to tell people about because it's really fun. Yes.
Where did your dad start?
Kitchener in 1980. I was 5, and when it first started, they would bring in big boxes of meat, like big 20-pound boxes of pork chops from restaurant suppliers, and then we would repackage them in the back of the store. Well, I didn't repackage, but I was in charge of building boxes, you know, like putting them together flat, and like, so I've been a box builder and balloon blower upper at grand openings, and yeah, lots of fun.
Oh, that's awesome, Angela.
So it's
Thank
fun.
you.
I just like to share my stories. It's fun.
Love it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye.